This is what your succulent is telling you. If it's gotten leggy like this one, you're not giving it enough light. The leaves are curling under like this one here, it also needs more light. If it's pruny looking, you need to water it. If there's little hairs coming out of it, those are aerial roots. She thirsty. If the leaves look translucent, it means you've overwatered. Maybe stick a tampon in it. And if the leaves are dying from the bottom, it can mean it needs more water, but that's also just a part of its natural life cycle. If you find leaves that look like this, that's a propagation, plant it. This is a death bloom. This is a happy bloom. It's flowering.
Quick hacks for healthy plants, part 6. If your plants look a bit unhealthy and need a pick-me-up, try using Epsom salt to water it. Epsom salt contains magnesium sulfate, which allows plants to better absorb nutrients, and it also aids in the creation of chlorophyll, which is vital for photosynthesis. I usually use 2 tablespoons of salt per gallon of water, and I do this process once a month. Enjoy!
Hey TikTok, I'm going to be showing you how you can create your very own greenhouse using an IKEA cabinet. So what you want to do is get that Aroosta cabinet or any cabinet you really like and go ahead and remove those glass shelves. Then you're going to get a full spectrum grow light. We're going to mount that to the top using mounting tape. I am using the Gorilla Glue brand because it is heavy duty and it's weatherproof, so it's perfect for this high humidity environment. Next, you can drill a hole in the bottom, or you can open up that back for those cords, and then you can go ahead and get a rechargeable fan. This is going to help to circulate that air in there and prevent any mold or mildew from building up on those leaves. This also helps to let our plant babies breathe. Next, we're going to start mounting, so I can go ahead and use a magnetic shelf from Amazon. These come in a pack of 2 and they hold up to 5 pounds. And then what you can do is use a shower shelf or any other shelf you'd like to start assembling. Now don't forget that humidifier is the main ingredient, and then you want to have a thermometer / humidity reader for your environment. Once you have all that, you're nice and...
I get some shit for this one, but who's ready for some brutally honest plant parent tips? We are not holding back. Well, maybe a little. You are going to unalive some plants, like a lot. Watering schedules to me are kind of BS. Learning how to actually tell when a plant needs water will do you way more good than a schedule. Speaking of watering, no sitting water, please. I do not water these plants in this pot. I take it out and take it somewhere where it can properly drain. It's not just sitting there festering. You do not always need to repot new plants immediately. Besides changing the substrate, like going from soil to leca, these are my only reasons to ever really repot a plant. Essentially only if it's going to start declining or slowing down growth if it stays in that pot. And last, skip on those fertilizer sticks. If you want to fertilize, which you definitely don't have to, I personally recommend using a liquid so you can actually control how much food you're giving your plants. Let me know if you want a part 2, and have a good day.
Hi, here's a list of plants that make me uncomfortable and I don't like them. Also, don't take any offense if you own any of these plants. This is my lunch. Okay? Like, what is my opinion? Nothing. Ripsalis, they just look messy and I want to detangle them. Next is a controversial one, but spider plants. I think they're cute when they're small, but you can't tell me this isn't terrifying. Next is Alocasia polys, whatever. They're really abrasive looking and they look like this guy from Death Note and they scare me. Next is crotons, obviously they're in all of these videos. Next is angel wing begonias. I'm gonna get yelled at for this one, but they just look like they have a mold problem. I don't know if this is lithops, whatever. It looks like a fleshlight shoved in the dirt. And pitcher plants just look like gaping vaginas. I'm sorry, there's no better way to say that.
I tried to scream.
I am under the water. Please help me.
How to keep your plants alive like a hot girl. Climbing poles. Monsteras, like philodendrons or pothos, are actually just huge trailing plants. In the wild, they climb up trees. You can mimic this in your house with a climbing pole and some floral ties to train yours to grow up instead of out.
Just la 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 la. Shh. Living my life.
Here are 3 things you need to know before becoming a plant parent. If you're new in this series, we're learning new facts every day. The amount you water is key. All plants require different amounts of water to stay healthy. For example, these cacti require less water than the plants behind me. Your plants need good soil. Look for soil that's well draining but retains moisture. Watch your lighting. Just like water, plants require different amounts of sunlight. Check where your plant is relative to a window.
Please don't pet me. No petting, thank you. I don't want to be petted. Do not pet. You can go pet your mom or something. No petting, no petting. Get your petty paws away from me.
How I check if my plants have strong roots.
Good. Good. Double good. timed it good.
When you buy a little plant and it's doing great, you break off a piece and you propagate. You make another plant. Ooh yeah, a baby brother plant.
Can some plant owner tell me if my cactus dead?
Hey Planttok, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard of the method of taking a cutting of a fast rooting plant and sticking it in with a slower rooting plant to speed up the rooting process? This works. Look, this method worked on this large monstera cutting that I have, so I'm gonna try it on this elbow stick. If you've tried this method before, tell us about it.
Oh yeah. It's a girl!
I've got no roots.
Good morning, everyone. God has let me live another day, and I am about to make it everyone's problem.
Y'all know what it is. Plant repotting for beginners. My anthurium was root bound in her pot and it was time to get her up out of there. Got a pot 2 inches bigger than our old pot so that her little roots could keep flourishing unlike y'all edges. Also made sure that the pot had a hole at the bottom so that the plant won't experience root rot. Got her some premium organic soil that drains well and added half to the pot at first. Had to move the soil around to make some room to let La Mama through. Then added some extra soil, leaving about an inch gap at the top for watering. Had to make sure to pat her in there tight like we pat our weed, ladies. Pat that soil, ladies. Added some pebbles to the tray because my tropical girl loves her humidity. Added some tap water that's been sitting for days to not cause shock to her roots from watering straight out the faucet. Made sure I water her until the water started dripping out the bottom hole and stopped. Made sure to spray her with some pesticide consisting of 1 part neem oil water and mild dish soap to keep them bugs away. And boom, my girl is too blessed to be stressed and ready to be springtime fine honey. Follow for more plant tips.
Okay, you guys, we're finally doing it. I'm going to show you how I propagate using perlite. I made you wait a whole month because I wanted to give you an update on this guy from that video. Holy crap. Look at those roots. I did cut off the new leaf coming in. It wasn't going to make it. Let's do it. This perlite has been soaking in water for about an hour. Excuse me. Put that to her side for now. We are propagating my sad Rhaphidophora. Between my cat chewing on her and her just being neglected, she's been through it. As you can see, it grew through this hole. We're going to cut right there. Filled my jar back up with the perlite. I'm gonna make a little hole.
Don't break the leaf, dummy dum dum.
Oh, just broke the leaf. Cool.
Should have done that first.
Be gentle. There we go. A lot of people leave like this much water at the bottom. I'm gonna fill it up about halfway. Definitely more than halfway. You can cover the top for humidity if you want, but I don't. Happy propping.
Plant parents, listen up. Your plant might not be getting enough light. There are 4 main types of light, and what your plant needs will depend on their species. Bright direct light, bright indirect light, medium light, and low light. Not sure what kind of light you have? Try using this trick. Put out your hand where you want to put your plant and see how the shadow falls. If you can clearly see the hand shadow, then it's bright direct light. If the edges are fuzzy, then it's bright indirect light. And if you can barely see a shadow at all, it's low light.
Auntie, did you know it's raining today? You know what that means. It's time for a field trip. Field trip. We're taking you outside to get dripped. Houseplants love rainwater.
Y'all really needed part 1, so here's part 2 of mistakes I made as a first-time plant parent so that you don't have to. Probably the worst thing I did was watering my plants on a weekly basis instead of actually just checking the soil to see if it needed water. I would never quarantine my plants after bringing them home, and honestly I'm lucky I've never gotten any pests. Quarantine your plants for 2 weeks. I would repot every plant as soon as I brought it home, even if it didn't need it. I didn't wipe down their leaves regularly and always wondered why they wouldn't grow faster. And honestly, this is probably the worst of them all, but I potted all my plants in the exact same soil.
I can't talk right now. I'm doing plant girl shit.
Bye.